Jesus, when I read you, you called my name, and I ran out like rain, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out like rain, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. I needed rescue, my sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing, now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Happy and blessed Thursday morning. I think it hit 32 degrees this morning, which means things are a little frosty out there, but the sun is shining. And so hope you're going to have a good day. What a great day to start. Have some devotions with you guys as we look at the last part of Ecclesiastes chapter 2. But before we do that, as always, let's see who's on board. We've got a good number of people on board. Steve Giroux, good morning. Chuck B, good morning, or shalom, men of God. I'm out there on X. Chris Connolly, good morning. No jokes about you working, man. I know you work hard. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Brian Flaming, good morning. Ken Gooch, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. John Carson, good morning, Firm Rooted Brothers, and continued prayers just overshadowing you, John. My cousin, Dave Donnelly, as well as several others are out there. All right, we've been looking at the idea again that, let's just say Solomon wrote this, at least he's influenced this book tremendously. Wisdom. If Solomon had anything in the latter part of his life, it was the uncanny ability to see the two kingdoms. This one that is broken because of sin and is just, it's a veil of tears, man. That's hard. Just as God told Adam and Eve, it was going to be hard now. Everything's going to be hard because not just did you and did our relationship break, but it all broke. Nothing's going to be like it was intended to be. It's going to be hard, and God's still going to bless us, but there's this hopelessness and this vanity in anything in the kingdom of this world now because it's not eternal. It doesn't keep going. We're immortal beings living in a temporal world. And so it's odd. It's all odd. That's why we don't like death, right? We don't like death because it's not natural, not for humans. And so Solomon has this ability to look out and see the world. And he was wealthy. He was powerful. And begins to step back and say it all is kind of vanity. It's kind of like chasing the wind. We think it's something, but it ends up being nothing. And today he talks about toil. So let me grab that and add it to the, there we go. And maybe I'll do this, pull that reading right in the center. All right, you with me? Here we go. I hated all my toil in which I toil under the sun, seeing that I must leave it to the man who will come after me. And who knows whether he will be wise or a fool? Yet he will be the master of all for which I toiled and used my wisdom under the sun. And this is vanity. Again, we have this eternal part about us. We want it to continue forever, whether it's relationships, whether it's our work and our toil. And it was meant to be that way. It was meant to be eternal. But now because of sin, there's this hopelessness and this kind of idea that I can't put my hope in this kingdom, right? So Jesus says, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his very soul? Our soul wants to attach to something eternal, real, always real, not something that's just going to be a breath. Our days on this earth are a breath. And so he's just seeing the worthlessness of the toil and the work and the pleasure and all the things that can continue to go on, but they don't continue to go on in this kingdom. So I turned about and gave my heart up to despair over all the toil of my labors under the sun. Because sometimes a person who has toiled with wisdom and knowledge and skill must leave everything to be enjoyed by someone who did not toil for it. This is also vanity and a great evil. What has a man from all the toil and striving of heart with which he toils beneath the sun? What's the ultimate payback? There isn't one in the kingdom of this world, is what he's saying. It all ends up being kind of futile. For all his days are full of sorrow, and his work is vexation. It's a struggle. Even in the night, which we probably can relate to, his heart does not rest. This is also vanity. I mean, how many of us have had sleepless nights because of our jobs or because of relationships or things going around the house or the fear of economics or health or whatnot? It's all a striving and it's all a wrestling with stuff that's not supposed to be the way it is. It's never intended to be this way. And so we can't give it permanence. Then he starts to get a little spiritual. 24. There's nothing better for a person that he should eat and drink and find enjoyment in his toil. Find enjoyment. How? How? This also I saw is from the hand of God. Oh. So Paul says in his letter, we should work heartily. We should work in this world with all of our hearts, but not for men, but for God. All of a sudden he's saying, look, but if we realize that there is a God and there is a kingdom, that we can begin to toil, but not toil for the end result of some treasure in this world, but we toil with an intended purpose to realize that God's in the midst. He's still in the midst of this. He hasn't abandoned us. He's in the toil process, and we can bring good out of it. We can see him in the work. He provides the gifts and talents we have. He provides the work that we have. He provides the days that we have. And so we find the joy in that we are able to connect what we do to what God is doing, and all of a sudden we have meaning. I mean, finally, the writer of Ecclesiastes is going, God's the answer. God's the answer. This also I saw is from the hand of God, for apart from him, who can eat or who can have enjoyment? Apart from God, how can any of it be meaningful? But if there is a God, now it has meaning. Because my purpose is in my relationships, my purpose in work, my purpose in pleasure, my purpose in everything is to find God in it. The God who's promised that he can bring some of that goodness and some of that enjoyment and some of that pleasure in the midst of all of the toiling, all of the wisdom seeking. Verse 26. For the one who pleases him, God has given wisdom and knowledge and joy. There it is. For the one who pleases him. Not my will, but thine be done. That God, you didn't abandon us in this broken, sinful world, but you entered it in Jesus. You entered it through the children of Israel. You've always entered it because you created it. Although it is broken and twisted, you enter in and bring sanity to the insanity. You bring hope to the hopeless. You bring life and purpose to the things we do. You gift us and talent us. You give us our resources. And all of a sudden, it's not vanity if God is somehow attached to what we're doing and that he's got a purpose and a plan. For the one who pleases him, God has given wisdom and knowledge and joy. Listen, but to the sinner, to the one who only looks at what this world has to offer, he has given the business of gathering and collecting only to give to one who pleases God. This also is vanity and striving after the wind. To the one who chooses to reject that God's in the midst of all this, they're stuck in the endless loop of brokenness. The whys and the what fors don't have an answer. The world's silent. Why do I work so hard and not get where I want to get? Why do I have to strive? Why do I face suffering and pain? Why do we do these things? Minus God, the existential philosophers are right. Life is meaningless. I mean, one of the existential philosophers had to battle with, why don't we just kill ourselves? He saw the brokenness of this life so clearly that he had to write a book to talk about why we would just not commit suicide and leave this world. Wow. Existential philosophers wrestled with the same thing the writer of Ecclesiastes is writing. The problem is many of them ultimately say God is the only answer, but there is no God. So there is no answer. Isn't that crazy? Jean-Paul Sartre ends his book by saying, the only thing that could possibly answer my dilemma is God. He nails it. He nails the answer and then finishes his book by saying, but he does not exist. So life is meaningless, is how he ends some 500-page book. Crazy. Crazy. The answer was right in your own sentence. If God enters into my brokenness, then I can have some hope. If God enters into the ugliness, the pain, the illnesses, the deaths, the grief, if he can enter in, we can breathe again. And we can have an intended purpose. And it's not vanity, because it has an attachment to an eternal kingdom. Are you getting it? Are you seeing it? Whew. All right. I think we'll end there. We're going to go into chapter 3, I believe, tomorrow, Friday. Let me remove this. Let me see. There's a couple. Steve Giroux says, started my day with the song Counting My Blessings. Amen. Amen. Chuck says, I love that song. Good morning, Steve Ponoworski, Ken Gooch. We are living in this world, but living for his kingdom. Yes. Yes. And all of a sudden, life becomes less like the wind, like vapor, like meaningless, vanity. Because now there's an eternal touch to our lives in what appears to not have any eternity to it, because it's all like a vapor. You realize it? Just the entrance of God into our lives allows us to, rather than grasping at the wind, we grasp at this eternal Father who loves us as sons and says, I'm going to take you through this vale of tears. I'm going to take you through this broken, sinful world, and I'm going to be faithful to you. Just hold on to me. Just hold on to me. And know that this is all temporary. Find joy, find fulfillment, find purpose. Find it all in that you're doing these things for me and not for you. You're doing it for who I created you to be. And now we begin to get some roots. We're not floating, we're not drifting, but now all of a sudden things become a little more solid. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that this devotion was a blessing to you. Have a great day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.